Hello and good evening. I know that we have already talked about the kerosene tank issues, the fact that the blue kerosene tanks are meant to kill us all. Can we just now that we have a new president, can I default back to my earlier stance of like, if you trust the government, try to heat with kerosene. I dare you. So there's snow on the ground, it's freezing outside, and I am sitting here nice and warm, but in basically a puddle of kerosene. I'm surprised you can't see the air shimmering around me, and at any second, I am preparing myself to become a human torch to protest the war in Vietnam. Cans are broken. They're broken, seriously. See these super safe cans that we are forced to buy, I took them to fill them up the other day, and they're broken. It's not like they see hard use. This is it. This is all I've ever seen. It's super easy if you're a kerosene can in this garage. You sit in the corner and do nothing. This is why when no one's looking, you fill up a 3-liter Pepsi bottle with your kerosene. That's the safer way to do it. I don't know if it's proper. I don't know if you get BPAs in your kerosene, whatever. That's the better way to do it. Anyway, my dad, who was a firefighter for some time in his life, he always said, because everybody talks about how unsafe it is to heat with kerosene, he always said that it's not that the heaters are inherently unsafe, it's that they are used by stupid people. That wasn't exactly the way he put it, but basically, we had kerosene. I've always had a kerosene heater. My dad said that, it's kerosene heaters are often owned by people that don't need to heat a lot. That's why you have a kerosene heater. You just need to heat a little bit, right? You've got your main heat source or no heat source because you live in the Southern Appalachians, and you just drag your heater out once a year or so, and because you're not familiar with it, you burn your house down. That's how that works. So I'm sitting here with like splashing kerosene all over the place, and I thought about him saying that. Well, and I thought about how even though I feel like I'm this modern like guy, that I also am basically just a southern white redneck getting ready to burn my garage down. So I made his Instagram post about it, and I took a picture of the kerosene everywhere and said, there's Southern Appalachian, and then there's burning your garage down with a kerosene heater, Southern Appalachian. And then I thought, because that's the thing, the Southern Appalachian thing, as a person who lives in Southern Appalachia, I'm really shaky on this term, right? Because there's Southern Appalachian, like, what that means is, it means white trash. That means white trash. Like when you go to a university and they're like, here's our Department of Southern Appalachian Studies, they mean poor white people, right? And generally, those white people are only marginally less oppressed than rural poor people in black people in the South. But if you can convince the white people they're just a little bit superior, they'll follow you anywhere. And that's why universities want to study us, is because we're so stupid. So I made this Instagram post, and then I'm like, I just offended so many people. Like, I don't know if people will be offended. I don't know. But I can imagine all of a sudden getting completely canceled by an army of like trailer trash social justice warriors. That's what I'm worried about. And yes, Bob, I'm thinking of you. If you couldn't already tell, this is the Sunday Antisocial Hour, that time each week when I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while generously answering all of its questions. And if you are a piece of humanity with a question for me, leave it in the comments down below with the hashtag AskMax. I answer any and all questions unless I don't want to. Let's get to it, shall we? I am smoking my Missouri Meerschaum hardwood, custom rusticated by some guy nobody remembers because he hasn't made any videos for like 4 years. Why do I feel the need to plug him every time I smoke? I don't know. And in it, I am smoking Black Frigate, which Les Brady sent me. I'm going to show you the tobacco here. It's a crumble cake, so I got to show that off to get my cred, There we go. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's like a Minecraft block of tobacco. Wonderful. So I tried it when Les first sent it, and I was kind of like iffy on it. So I thought I would get it out, give it the old heave-ho, see if I can get a good sense of what it's really like. I'm liking it more. A little more flavorful. I also think that it tastes a bit like kerosene. John Galdieri, an old friend of the channel, asks Gribbs/Max. There are days when I really regret the name change, and mostly those days are when I'm really paranoid and worrying about accountability for my actions. Anyway, in heaven, if there is only one type of fish to catch, what would it be, and how would you fish for it? So I think the standard answer here would be, I want a river that's full of nothing but like 26-inch browns, like brown trout, right? So that would be the river runs through it heaven answer. But, or were they fishing for like one of those Western fish, like steelhead or cutthroats or sriracha or something? I don't know, whatever. My answer is going to be brook trout, and here's why. It would get old just catching 26-inch browns. Browns can be little, but brook, in my experience, have a wider range within the same water. Like, you can get tiny little brook trout, and then you can get pretty big brook trout in the same water. So I think, plus they're prettier than browns. I mean, let's be honest. Browns are beautiful, but at the end of the day, they're still just brown with black spots, you know? And a brook trout has so many different colors, you can't even really make a positive species identification. Asked Max from Harry Imster, also, are you still fishing? Okay, what's the also? Wait, did you ask another question? Am I missing a question here? This is the kind of thing that keeps me up at night. It's whatever. We're just gonna go for it and hope for the best. Are you still fishing with a Tenkara rig? Yes, I am, but this is the time of year when I often fish from the bank because I'm not a moron and don't like to get cold. And so I will probably be taking my rod and reel out to check off the February dry fly fish. Trying to catch a fish every month on a dry fly, it's just something I do every year. Excellent humor and scenery in this one. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do strive for a little bit of scenery. Handlebar Mike says, there is always something magical about watching you get slapped around by branches for the sake of photography and fishing. You know, I have a bit of an advantage in that, like, there's not exactly prime real estate right here. Like, I'm not really worried about this getting worse. Wayne Basha says, hey, Max, lighten up. Fair. And also he's calling me out for the 5 and 3 pipe challenge. I've been seeing this going around. I also saw that the mayor is back from the dead. He made a video. I didn't watch it. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. I really only care, seriously, about Derek Tant. I care 2 things. Is he alive? And is he alive enough? Is he doing well enough that I can now make fun of him again? So I haven't watched the video yet, you know, because I don't know if he's like sick or something, like whatever, you know. So I'm just waiting till I really need a good rant. Then I'm gonna make sure it's okay to roast him over the coals. I'm a wrench. Your comment about Timber Drifter, it got a lull from me. And yes, I mean I think he could be playing it cool and just not admitting to everyone that he is also a level 50 shaman. Howard says he's giving me some fodder for the shtick here. Ask Max, November 2022, all 435 seats of the U.S. House will be up for election. A chance to set things right. No, it's not. It's not. No matter which way, it's just not going to be. It's not going to be right. I mean, what is up with the space laser lady? What, she got stripped of her committees or something like that, but she's still like doubling down on the space lasers or something. I don't know. I knew someone. It always goes back. It always goes back to anti-Semitism with those people. And this is getting off topic. Will the 2022 election go back to the right? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say status quo. Status quo. Slim Democrat majority will be retained. But you know, the Marjorie Taylor Greene stuff, is that her name? MTG. It always goes back. If you get a person that's talking about those kinds of conspiracies, in the end, it goes back to anti-Semitism. And this is a law of nature that I have learned over many a campfire, drinking too many whiskeys, with people who I was shocked. I was shocked when we finally got there, because they were the most like normal, like newspaper people, newspaper editors, and and you finally get to them, and it's like eventually they're just like, well, this really is just the Jews. What would you say? It's the pews. We're not even in church. You know what else I've learned is that the minute someone goes there with you, that's when your friendship is over. You just don't know it yet. Like it took a long time in that particular instance. I was very close with this person, but I should have seen it coming. I should have seen it coming when they were literally in tears telling me about how the Jews were responsible for basically every ill in society. And here I am trying to be, I don't know what I was trying to be. A good person, a forgiving person. Screw that, man. No, dude, shut up with your shit. Shut up. Shut up with your space lasers. Wait. We have to talk about this. You know what? Right after this clip, I'm going to show you a picture of what I'm getting ready to talk about. So, space lasers. All right. It has come to my attention, and you know that I am a knife connoisseur. I have about 16 knives sitting on the desk here. We won't get into it, but I have a lot of knives, and I like knives, and I like knives for different purposes, and designing knives and all that. Okay, so it has come to my attention that K-Bar, I have a K-Bar USMC fighting knife right over there. United States Marine Corps fighting knife. K-Bar invented the survival knife, basically, right? And I've got my modern one right over there, and then in the safe deposit box, don't tell the bank, I have my grandfather's K-Bar that he used in freaking Guadalcanal. All right, so I'm a big K-Bar guy, except it has come to my attention that K-Bar is now selling the official survival knife of the United States Space Force. Introducing the tried and true K-Bar fighting / utility knife to a post-orbital world. What the post-orbital? What is that even? That's not even a thing. How can you be? All right, made with battle-tested 1095 Crovan steel, which is the same thing all the other K-Bars are made. The blade has a gray powder coating and is marked USSF and K-Bar. The handle is blue Kraton G. Isn't that drug that one Piper was like promoting? The guy that was into the whatever is carried in a gray hard plastic sheath that is Molly compatible. Made in Olean, New York, USA, Earth. So now I'm just picturing Marjorie Taylor Greene in like a United States spacesuit with like this K-Bar between her teeth, like swimming toward the space laser to take it down. Timber Drifter, I think the previous segment will answer this question. Ask Max, how much time do you spend online daily on average? Way too much. Is it more or less than before the plague? You know, I don't really think it has changed. I think the thing that I feel it has changed is that my obsessions are getting a little harder to control in terms of like not like my actual OCD obsessions that I take medicine for, but like oh, you know, I want to buy a new knife, and I like start researching knives, and I'm like I have so many knives that I don't even use, but eventually I will make this purchase. It's going to be a $15 more a knife. It's not that big a deal, but I have noticed it's harder to get out of the like purchasing cycles because you can't go to stores to get your retail therapy, and so we're just all feeling like less of Americans, you know? If it's more, would you say it has had more time online? Has it had a positive or negative effect? Me, I just spend vast amounts of time on YouTube and wandering around looking at the way light falls on trees and snow in the meantime. I mean, me too. I don't know. It's so hard to separate the positives and negatives from the fact that there's a global pandemic. You know, like, yeah, it's probably a negative that I go down these rabbit holes online a little too much, but like, it's also a negative that I haven't like left my house in 7 days, and I probably ought to do so just to charge up my car battery. Martin Stinsby says, he's quoting me, "It would not be Nirvana without pipes and good tobacco." And then he says he is enjoying this with both a good pipe and good tobacco. So Martin, this is the Matrix moment where you realize that you're actually already in Nirvana. Congratulations. Also, congratulate me. This is my third pipe of the week. Can you believe? I mean, not of this week, this Sunday. I haven't had 3 pipes today, but of the past week, this is my third pipe. I'm going to live up to my New Year's resolution for once. I'm enjoying myself a little bit more. I did get outside on 2 walks. It's like a freaking like 90-year-old. Oh, he got it. He got outside on a walk today. Oh, good for you, staying active. Is that it? Are we out of Where is Martin? Where is Over a Pipe with his snarky little comments, leaving them? What's up, Martin? You just couldn't get it together this week. You're too busy replying to your chats, your little live feed chat. You're too busy sending out little sound effects. That was a good burn, wasn't it? I've been getting lots of heat for not plugging everything, so go check out my website, maxcooperphoto.com. There you can buy awesome limited edition prints for not too much money, actually. And I have an Instagram feed. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's this place where people share photos. It's at maxcooperavl. Also, I have a YouTube channel, but I think you figured that out now. I'm so bad at this. I have to be goaded by my followers into promoting my own content. It's terrible. It's hard. It's just... Can you imagine what's going to happen when my trust fund finally runs out and I have to go get a job at REI selling USSF K-bars? Yeah, this is the one they use in space. They took this one on the Apollo mission. That's what they used to gut that moon hog. They were up there doing like hunting and gathering on the moon, and they had to have this knife or they would have died up there. This knife is $111. It's $100. Who buys it? K-bar Zasaw pizza cutter? Are you fucking kidding? All right, I'm done. Every day we stray further from God. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week, if not before. Probably next week, though. I don't really have anything in the hopper. And I really appreciate your attention and using your time here on my channel. Thank you so much. I keep the ends out for the ties that bind.